let's get stuck into the main event. Tai Tuivasa, Ciryl Gane. What are your thoughts?
So like going in, I always thought it's stylistically a tough fight for Tai Tuivasa, and it's like how can you not love Tuivasa? But it was good. It delivered as a main event. I think it was just no one was taking that from Ciryl. You know what I mean? It was his moment, but it wasn't a complete domination. It's just Ty's good. Like if you hurt him, he hurts so many people when he's been hurt, and he fires back. So he had gone wobbly, but yeah, really good fight. Kind of played out how I thought it would. Yeah, it's interesting to see what's next for both. What did you think?
The pressure. When I look at Derek Lewis most recently, who fought in Houston and has seemingly lost about 6 on the spin in his hometown, which can't be easy. Then I look at Ciryl Gane, right? Again, bigger occasion, first time out in France. They're sort of poster boy of French MMA, and rightly so, because he's the full package, right? He's the full package. Ciryl Gane is the full package. Yeah. Every time I look at him, he's the nicest geezer. He's smiley as anything. Yeah. He dresses cool, and he's the hardest geezer in the world, pretty much.
He's actually quite funny as well. Like I watch one of his documentaries. He's actually quite funny. Like, he's got a good sense of humour.
He done it with the full reptile boys, right?
I believe so. He was in an ice bar talking about smoking ganja and stuff. He's like, after the fact, I smoke. It was good. It was funny.
I like Ciryl Gane. So you must think going into there, he looked cool as a cucumber, but you must think the nerves and the anticipation and how many people have come out to watch him and watch him fight. But the thing is, we've seen him with that sort of pressure before against Ngannou, right? And he is, like I said, he's a cool customer. So obviously he's going to be nervous, but he doesn't let it affect his performance. Everyone was saying how bad of a matchup this was for Tai, but the truth of it is, Gane's a bad matchup for anyone. You know what I mean? He can do everything, right? So he's not going to be a favourable matchup for anyone. He can strike, he can kick, he can punch, he can knee, he can elbow, he can submit you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He can snap your ankle, so he can literally do everything. So it wasn't going to be easy, but every fight that Tai goes into, you know that he's going to have a chance. He's more than a puncher's chance, because I think that, to be fair, I think his skills going into it were a little bit overlooked. I think he's got good combinations, which you don't often get at heavyweight a lot. You don't usually see people putting together sort of 5-6 punches, do you know what I mean? Especially with that sort of power. Good knees.
Rip the body as well.
He rips the body. Although he's obviously got those big, powerful shots, he does have quite a bit of diversity as well, and he's got one of the nastiest low kicks. I was wondering how that was going to sort of play out, right? Because we've seen him stop people with low kicks before, and obviously Gane's movement is one of his biggest weapons. So I was interested to see that, but those teeps, that was the nasty point, right? When he just invested into that body, and I thought that was clever from Gane, because although he moves quite well, you start digging into his body, and he's got enough of a target to hit. And that was the...
It is one of them. That definitely plays a factor.
That was the beginning and the end. That beer belly was holding up, and then it was just sort of like a countdown clock, right? It was just like a health bar, and you could see it getting lower and lower and lower.
Yeah, it was going.
But that was it.
Yeah, those teeps are horrible. Like, a lot of guys, used to, push teeps, just to cover distance, but, stabbing your toes into someone's kind of midriff, it's draining on the gas tank. McGregor kind of not brought it into the sport, but he made it kind of a thing, and everyone's stabbing those teeps, and it's just drains your gas tank.
There'll be a lot of people, obviously, watching this that don't necessarily train or they don't fight. As someone who does, when you're there, guard up, 4-ounce gloves, and someone's sticking their toes into your rib cage, what does that feel like? What's that doing to you mentally, physically?
Makes you just feel weak. If anyone's ever been winded, if you've ever been winded and you're kind of short of breath, you're like, oh my god, I can't breathe. It's just your body feels like it's going to shut down, and it gets to a point where you can be the toughest guy ever, but your body's just going to go. It's not a case of how bad you want to stay up. Your body will shut down, especially if you get enough to the body. It just drains and drains and drains. And, he's accurate with it. He's big, he's powerful, he's stabbing it in, he's jabbing you up high, faking to the body. It was just a bad spot. But the toughness was impressive, I thought, from Tuivasa. You could see physically, he could have easily broken. You could see it in his eyes. He took a deep breath, he dropped his hands, and he sort of shook his head. He was like, no, actually, I'm still in this fight. I'm going to fight. So, I don't think he lost many fans. Well, he didn't lose any fans, but I think he actually gained fans from his toughness, and he's always going to be a fan favorite.
Banger from Sydney, Australia.
Oh, mate.
I love it. I love it. I love his
Yeah.
whole stick, but it's exactly like what you said. Anyone could have forgiven him for breaking at certain points, but it was like what you said, he sort of realised and was like, no, I'm in this fight. And that's what I thought was actually quite clever from Ciryl Gane, because when you're headhunting, right, he just has a different level chin. Mark Hunt 2.0,
Oh yeah.
he wasn't going down, right? You had to do something different. That head kick that he ate, that was insanity.
That was so weird, by the way. I thought he was like, because there was a pause. I thought he was like pretending to be rocked, like messing around. But I looked back at it and I was like, oh no, he was rocked. It was just sort of like a shot that was delayed. Then his legs started going. But yeah, he ate like a flush head kick from Gane.
It reminded me of Crow Cop v Mark Hunt when he drops him with that high kick and he just stands up and starts grinning.